I feel like I should have shaved. I'm feeling like a man today. Today, I'm gonna be taking you along with me as I design some looks. Let's get started, shall we? Ooh, today's gonna be really fun because we're sketching. Now, as you saw in my last video, or the video that is about to be posted, I recently made mood boards here on YouTube. And the intention of that is I'm basically taking all of you, all of the viewers, all 6 of you, taking you all along with me on my design process. And I usually always start with a mood board. The mood board helps sort of figure out the idea, the vibe of the collection. Mood boards are usually the first step that I take, and then after that, I start doing a first round of sketches. Now, what a first round of sketches basically are is when you're actually putting pencil to paper, or pen to paper, or Apple Pen to iPad, whatever way you feel is the best to do your first round sketches. For me, I love starting off with pencil and paper. It just feels really, really natural. It feels really, really good to just physically draw something and have a finished result on a piece of paper. Because then you can grab it, put it up on the wall or anything. Like, I'm actually thinking about turning this huge open space into like a giant cork board and just adding inspiration stuff to it so I can consistently be inspired by it. But I don't know, I'm looking into like redecorating my room up a little bit, so stay tuned for that. So now that we obviously talked about mood boards in the last video, today we're gonna be talking about the first round of sketches. What we're basically gonna be doing is, I already actually drew these sketches so that I can have sort of 2 different views of this. I already know what these sketches look like because, hello, I knew what they were gonna be when I was creating the mood board to some extent. This is just the first round. This is basically, in my mind, I like to draw as many things as I possibly can in this moment because I want every idea that I have to be out on a paper so I can see what it is I'm planning on doing, where it is I'm going, what silhouettes I'm really interesting, cuts or looks that I really want to go in. Because for me, I like a collection to be really cohesive. I like cuts to be similar or style lines to be similar, maybe color or the general vibe. Maybe everything's really full or things are usually sleeker and a little bit more streamlined. I want the collection to look like family members, you know, siblings, cousins, you know, when it comes around like that. Like I definitely want all the pieces, all the looks to look related, like they literally belong next to each other and are easily interchangeable within a wardrobe. For the sake of this first collection, I think I want to keep everything really black and white. Maybe we'll introduce a color. I don't know, maybe it'll be more of a neutral toned color, just so we can have something very versatile to work with for our first collection. And maybe in our next one that we design together, we'll go with really, really loud, vibrant colors. That sounds like fun to me. But for this, I started off with 5 illustrations, 5 looks, we're gonna call them. Wanted to basically just put out every idea that I can so that I can start narrowing it down, right? Because I think in a collection, especially in this case scenario, I want to do a 3-look mini collection. To me, I like to give the consumer a lot of different things to work with. You know what I mean? I want to do a top, a pant, a skirt, a jacket, and a dress. And maybe another like layering option that could be really, really fun and interesting. Maybe another top, maybe something that's like a secondary situation, or maybe that first top can also be present in the third looks. They're cohesive and part of a family while still being a little bit different. So we're gonna start with these sketches. The first sketch is definitely sort of like almost borderline Squirrel Girl, I feel. I wanted to do this sort of surplice, like blazer top with a jacket over it. I'm debating on going for like a suiting material with a really thick and thin pinstripe, like one where it's like a thick, thin, thick sort of pinstripe. Just something very visually textural. I think a black and a white and maybe a pop of color within it, maybe a pink, maybe a yellow. This collection is loosely inspired by New York City, so that could be really fun and interesting. And I even thought about potentially doing a graffiti embroidery on these pieces, but I'm still playing around with the idea. Of this collection, so I want to focus on what the raw pieces are gonna be right now, rather than putting every idea I have out into these looks. These first 5 looks are definitely gonna be that sort of like neutral mode New York cut. Something that I really like doing in fashion is taking men's clothing and reworking them in an idea for women's wear. So I like taking a men's shirt and figuring out, okay, how can I disassemble these pieces and cuts and make them for a women's look? So that's sort of what I did with this first one. This look is a sort of deconstructed 3-piece blazer look. In the skirt, it's like a half blazer with a pleated skirt. And I feel like looks like this have come around often. So I definitely think I want to evolve upon this look and figure out a way to make it unique and different. It's definitely not the final version of it, but I'm excited to where it's going. Our second look is more of a flouncier dress that has a sort of shirt collar on top of it that almost acts like a vest. I'm debating between making those two individual pieces or making this one entire dress. I like the flounciness of the dress. I like the shape and fullness. I just don't know if I want to go for fullness in this look, because when I think of New York, I think of like sleek and sexy, not so much huge and flouncy. That's just me personally. For a third look, I wanted to do this take on a shirt dress, but flip it around and have sort of like an open back moment. I haven't illustrated the back yet, but in my mind, it is a collar in the back that tapers down and then is buttoned up, and maybe there's a zipper on the side, and that's how like the wearer can put it on and off and doesn't have to worry about undoing those buttons, because that would be annoying. But I definitely wanted to do this shirt material that's a little bit flouncier. I'm not in love with how I have the skirt right now. I think I want to do more of a handkerchief skirt, if I'm being honest, and I think it would actually be like a really interesting silhouette. Some fullness, but it's still sleeker on the hips. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? For the fourth look, this is very much a stereotypical sort of like two-piece suit moment that I feel like I've always done. I always do some sort of high-waisted pant with an interesting waistband and some sort of blazer top. Blazer tops like this I feel like we've seen before, so again, I want to figure out how to rework this top or maybe invent and redesign a new top for this look. I think it's good. I like the asymmetrical blazer wraparound, but I'm not in love with it as it is, so I think I need to take something into a different approach for this one, but I'm not entirely sure yet, so I'm hoping as I'm working on this collection with you all, a new idea sparks up. The thing that I love about creating a collection is you can start with one idea and it can be completely reinvented by the end of it. Not every idea is amazing at the start. Things always consistently need to be invented. For our final look, the one that I actually think I really like is this sort of like asymmetrical wrapped skirt over a trouser with a bustier that is meant to look like a men's pant. I actually think a bustier like this is actually quite interesting. I feel like we've seen some stuff kind of like it, but never any that are like a men's pant, like a trouser or a slack. And I actually think this is pretty successful. It actually reminds me of this denim dress that I've seen certain K-pop idols wear, that it's like a huge belt here and a huge belt here. And I do think that it is sort of like a reinvention of it and maybe more of a suit wear look. Because I think that's what I want to do with this collection. I want to do sort of suiting reimagined in New York City, maybe a little bit more of a streetwear vibe. Maybe that's what this collection needs. Maybe this collection needs a little bit more of a New York street flair rather than suiting. But that is for the next round of sketching and the next idea. Because for this, the idea was basically just New York City suiting. And I actually do like these sketches. I think these 5 are really, really good points to touch off of. My 3 favorites definitely has to be look 1, 3, and 5. But I'm excited to hear what you all think of it. What looks do you like the most? And maybe whether you like this direction or not. And maybe some of the looks can be evolved upon. I definitely do like layering within fashion, and I'm definitely leaning towards like a fall winter collection with this. When I think of New York, I think of cold weather, and I think fall is really beautiful in New York City. I've never been, but it looks really pretty. I think that these looks are a really, really great touching point. I think I need a coat in this look to some extent, and I really want to do a jacket that's a little bit more versatile with these looks. That's also another thing to think of. What is the styling for this? Are we gonna go with something that's a little bit more modern, something that's a little bit more classical New York styling? Are we gonna go for any interesting accessories to go with styling? Like for example, the 5th look, I put a beret in the hair, and as well as in the 5th and the 1st look, I did a tie wrapped around the neck. Maybe that's the sort of idea I wanna go for. I also do think it'd be really fun to design a little saddlebag for this collection. I think it would work really, really well. I know we have 5 looks that are gonna be narrowed down to 3. The next round of sketching, I'm probably gonna do 5 as well, but with a focus on what these pieces are going to be and how they're going to interact with each other. Because I want basically a pant and a skirt that could be worn with both tops that I'm looking to designing, that could also be worn with both jackets that I'm looking to designing. I think I'm leaning towards a 2-2-2-1 sort of design format right now. 2 layering pieces, 2 tops, 2 bottoms, and a bag. I thought about designing a shoe, but let's be honest, I think just like a leather boot is gonna look really, really good with this. So that's what I'm gonna lean towards. But for now, I like where it is. I think I am pleased, and I'm excited to see where the next round of sketching is gonna go. Let me know if you like this video. Let me know if you are inspired. This is definitely a format that I've been wanting to do for a while now, sort of just designing and illustrating with all of you and sort of taking you on my process, because I feel like I have a very chaotic process sometimes, but it's been more chaotic in the past. I've just definitely organized it a lot more in the most recent years. I have a lot of fun illustrating. I do it every day and I design every day. Let me know what you think about these looks. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, if you feel inspired. I hope this inspired you to sketch and to maybe design a collection with me. Whether it's also inspired by New York like mine is, or inspired by something else, I'd be excited to see what you are creating. With that, I'm gonna go. Hope you all take care. Hope you've had a wonderful day. Hope you like, comment, and subscribe. Keep sketching, keep creating, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!